स्वाध्याय टीवी। डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaskar. Very good morning, one and all present here. Here I am going to deliver today and start a new unit, a new chapter regarding the cost accounting and the process of cost accounting for the past of the certain things which we were actually trying to find out the costing of a manufacturing product. Here we are find out the costing for a different type of services. It means that if any particular business organizations or the people who are actually involving with the service providers or services, how they can determine the cost of their products and cost of their services. We have a certain process system or we have a certain costing methodology that can be used to determine the costing of the providing services. It means that we are now going to discuss today onwards in the series of lectures regarding the operating costing or a service costing. So that means the new title of a unit is operating costing. In this unit, now we will actually try to discuss the following topics in the particular unit, like introduction of the operating costing, what is operating costing, how the operating costing will be useful for the manufacturing for the service provider unit, then their characteristic of operating costing, how unit of costing that is more important in service costing, because of without unit the service costing may not be determined systematically. Then precisely we will try to discuss one by one different type of services. We will start with the transport costing and their objectives, which are the elements of cost specifically in a service costing. Then the pro forma of service costing, specifically a transport costing. Then advantages of operating costing, same for a road transport and the transport services. And we'll take few examples how you can determine the passenger kilometer and ton kilometer. So this is what we are going to discuss in the operating costing. I'll just, before we start the part of the introduction of an operating costing, I just want to give you a very brief comparisons. Fine, costing is an important feature for all the type of business class people. This would be helpful to all the different type of business class people to determine their costing of a product, whether it is a services or a manufacturing. Simultaneously, it would be helpful to identify how they can control of overall business so far as the product is concerned, so far as the service is concerned, and how it can be optimum utilization of their product to control their cost. So the costing and cost methodology would be helpful in a different type of businesses, as there are certain methods also to useful in a different businesses also. Like we were actually trying to identify the process costing earlier, job and batch costing. These are the costing methodology which would be useful for a manufacturing unit, maybe in a single process or maybe in a number of processes. But ultimately this would be helpful for the manufacturing unit. It means those who are involving with the manufacturing units would be try to control the how the cost can be controlled and how they can evaluate their product manufacturing for the cost requirement. Here we are going to discuss how the cost can be identified and evaluated for the providing services or rendered services by the different business peoples. Maybe there are so many types of services are available in the society. Maybe the companies are actually involving with the providing a services of a transport services. Maybe they are providing a services for the telecommunication services. Maybe they are providing for the services of a water supply services, or maybe a basic requirement of services, power supply and other things. Hospitals is a one type of services. Educational institutions are also providing a services, right? So canteen is a services, hotels is a one type of services. So these are the different type of businesses which are involving with the providing a different type of services, but still they have a different type of costing methodology also, or how to calculate the cost that we need to identify. And on the basis of identification of the cost determinations, it would be calculated in a specific format pro forma and identified the cost in a different parameters and a different structures would be divided, and at the end of the structure they would to identify that what amount of a cost incurred to provide a certain services. Simultaneously, they need to identify the unit also, because of without identification of unit, you may not be actually identified the cost of the providing the services. How? Very simple. Suppose if the manufacturing unit is involvement with the manufacturing of a motor car, how you would identify the how much cost of per motor car? That would be identified through the per motor car. It means the number of unit is car, per car. How you can identify to provide actually services in transport services, which would be the better judgment and better identification to calculate the transport fare for the consumer who are actually taking a services of transport facilities. Now tell me, this is very simple way to identify that. The first we need to identify what is a cost or what is a unit to calculate the transport services. So that means that whenever you are going to calculate services cost structure or a costing for a service providers, you need to identify first the unit. Unit means the cost, which is the cost unit to identify and calculated the costing of the rendered services. So here we need to calculate the certain basic requirements, and on the basis of that we would further calculate the cost unit. Now we'll start with the introduction part, how the cost unit would be considered. Here there are some undertakings which do not manufacture any product but render services. As I already mentioned it, this is purely and precisely for the considerations of the providing services. It means that this businesses means the people who are involving with the services would be considered under this parameters, and you can see the understanding of the requirement. Now here the manufacturing unit cannot be considered, only providing services units would be considered under this particular methods. The system of costing employed to ascertain the cost of services is known as an operating costing. It means that those who are actually involvement with the providing a services would be considered under this particular format. It means either they are providing a services of a road transport or a goods transport or a passenger transport, or maybe they are involving with the hotels providing services and hospitals, educational institutions, whatever it's so. Ultimately, if they are involving with the providing services, the cost ascertainment would be considered under this particular format. Then the principle is to accumulate the cost under the suitable headings to express them in terms of the units. As I already mentioned, we need to identify the cost units for the service rendered or providing services. It means that those who are actually involvement with the providing a services, they need to identify their cost unit first. So after you identified the services, then you need to identify the unit cost, and then you identify the distribution and actually parameters of the cost distribution. So if you are already having all three important parts, first is services, second is the unit cost or a cost of unit of the particular services, and the third is how the cost has been distributed between the certain parameters, it would be very easy to calculate the cost of services provided. Then the next is the certain time, maybe because of the diverse nature of activities carried out in the different service segments, the cost system used obviously different from that the manufacturing concern, right? Fine. What we did actually in the process costing, we prepared the different process accounts for each different processes. What we did actually in the job and batch costing, we prepared the simple precise format and divided the whole cost in two parts. Now here in this operating costing, the structure is again different. So it means that according to the operating costing or according to the particular providing of facilities of services, it would be definitely a different format than the manufacturing units. So it means when you are calculating a cost for a manufacturing unit, it would be different, and when you are calculating a cost for a service providing unit, it is a different format. So we have a different type of format also. Now see here, this is the basic understanding for the operating costing. Here we need to identify the multiple cost unit naturally. So when you are actually having a different type of service providing, you need to have a certain cost unit also, and that is a multiple cost unit also. Why this is a multiple cost unit? Because of the ton kilometer. passenger kilometer, it's a multiple cost unit, right? Suppose if the services, if this any particular businessman is involved with the providing a services of hospitals, then number of beds. If the person is involvement with the providing a services of hotels, then number of dishes or maybe the number of rooms are available. If the businessman is involved with the providing a services of canteen, then the number of how many tea cups or maybe a coffee cups or maybe a dishes to be provided services to the consumer. So it is considered as a multiple cost unit. Then they need to identify the how the cost unit is suitable for the particular service provided. In case of if you are identified the process costing, job costing, batch costing, or in a contract costing, or maybe in any other cost unit system, for a manufacturing unit it would be very easy to identify the cost unit because of the whatever the unit is manufacturing, this would be a cost unit. But in case of service providing, this would be a little different, and this would be a little different to identify the cost unit for the service provided or a businessman or a service rendered businessman. In case of a transport service, we can easily identify that whether the transport services is providing a passenger transport or a goods transport. If the involvement with the they are involved with the passenger transport, then their unit is passenger kilometer. If they provided goods transport services, then it would be easily understood that the cost unit for them, it is a ton kilometer. So the cost unit is very much important so far as service provided businessmen or service provided business concern. Then the manner of a collection of cost of the cost unit, that is also very much important thing is operating costing is actually very much familiar with the service costing also. So it means that suppose certain period of time the people are saying that this is ultimately a service costing. It is easy to say it is a service costing also because of it's actually a synonyms of an operating costing. So service costing is very much familiar word to identified for the business who are actually for the doing a business who are involving with the service providing services also. Operating costing is used in a service sector like transport companies, as I already mentioned, hotels, hospitals, power supply or power generations, educational institutions, theaters, and many more. So these are the businesses which are actually involved with the providing the services. So it means that they need to calculate their service cost with the help of a service costing methods or a service costing system. Then there are certain definitions are also given. One of the definition has been given by the CIML London, which is very much clear. The operating costing can be defined as that form of operation costing which applies where the standardized services are provided either by an undertaking or by a service cost center within an understanding. So that means it's within undertaking of the particular services which are adopted by the service class businessmen, consider the proper pro forma for the calculation of costing. This is called a service costing, and very easy to say that when the service costing is actually defined in a simple format, that the cost of providing a services, which is also called a service costing. Now the characteristics of operating costing. There are main 4 characteristics. I just want to precisely say that the one number of 4 characteristics is not required. As per the definition, the very simple way you can define the first characteristic is how the actually the people are involved with the providing services. That's the first thing. Second important thing is the most of the expenditures, their investment in the fixed assets. Then the third is the most of the rather simple part of the expenditures or a very less amount of expenditures which is required for a working capital management. And the important part is the industry must be classified with the certain expenses in a fixed format or in a running format. So precisely it would be divided into 4 parts, or if you are going to see the definition also, on the basis of the definition the characteristics very easily defined. The people who are involving with the services, they will actually concerned with the operating costing. That the second is service costing, like if you are going to take an example, providing a transport services, that means the transport services provider has to have certain amount of investments to purchase trucks or maybe buses. That means their major part of the investments would be actually in the fixed assets. So as per this understanding, the second characteristic is the most of the amount of the total investment has been invested in the fixed asset. Third characteristic is you can identify if the most of the part or a major part of their investments, major parts of their chunk is invested in the fixed assets, then the remaining is very small amount. It means that for very small amount of working capital has been required for managing the routine transactions of the business in operating costing. So it means that the very less amount of working capital is required for managing the operating costing business or a service class businesses. And the fourth part is the most of the expenditures has been divided into a two part only. One is a fixed and second is running. So that means there is no any further classification. If you want to divide into a three part, you can divide also. The one is fixed expenses, second is an running expenses, which is variable expenses, and the third is a semi variable expenses. In case of a fixed, the expenditures are still not change. In case of any circumstances, it is fixed expenses. Variable expenses, it means the expenses which are actually incurred on the basis of the service has been actually running or in operating mode, that is called a variable expenses. Or in a semi variable expenses, you can say very easily that the expenses which are actually incurred up to certain level, it remains same, but after that, if there will be any change for the providing a services, the cost would be changed. It is considered as a semi variable expenses. So these are the characteristic of operating costing. Now see, according to this characteristics, we need to identify the very important point, unit cost. I want to say here, this unit cost is a major chunk of the operating costing, because of if you don't have a clarification regarding the unit cost or a cost of unit of the particular service provider, it would be very difficult to calculate their costing. So now see here, this the nature of business, it is actually given into a two parts: nature of business, which type of businesses are there, and what would be their cost unit or a unit of cost. So see here, transport, first service is transport, which is actually providing a goods transport. What would be their cost unit? That is ton kilometer. It means that any transport businesses which are involved with the goods transport services provider, then their cost unit is always ton kilometer. The next is transport for passenger. If the passenger transport services providers are there, then their cost of unit is passenger kilometers. That means they are always concerned with their passenger kilometers. Next is hotels. If any businesses are involved with their hotels services, then their cost unit is always room per day. So that means they can calculate their costing is always room per day. Next is canteens. If any class of businesses are involved with the providing services like canteens, they can actually calculate their costing on the basis of a tea per tea, per coffee, or maybe a meals served on the basis of the per dish or any particular format. Then educational institutions is calculated their services costing on the basis of per student. That means their cost of unit is per student. Hospitals is always considered their cost unit on the basis of a patient per day. Why it's patient per day? Because of it's always calculated on the basis of how many number of patients are actually entered in this particular hospitals to take their different type of services. Then they're actually keen to occupied the bed in the hospitals, and so on the basis of that it would be calculated, and that is why the hospitals cost of unit is patient per day or a patient day. Electricity is always calculated on the basis of a kilowatt per hour or kilowatt hours. And one more services is there, that is water supply. It is always calculated on the basis of per gallon. So these are the basic services. There are many services other than this also, or their cost of unit also you can identify, but their cost of unit has to be identified on the basis of which way the cost can be calculated. So on the basis of the cost calculation only, we can actually determine for the different services cost of unit. So now see here, the cost of unit would would be identified on the basis of their basic nature of providing services. Moving to the next point, and that is a transport costing, that is a road transport services. Here we are going to discuss the objectives of a transport costing. Listen, see, the transport costing is actually based on the different type of providing a road transport services. Here we were precisely discussing the road transport services. There are two possibilities for the road transport services. One is maybe a goods transport, and the second one is a passenger transport. That means those who are actually involving with the providing goods transport would be calculated there how much amount of services, or how much amount of a cost per ton kilometer, or maybe the providing of a total amount of goods transport from one place to another place. In case of if they are involving with the business with the passenger transport, like many buses are actually, or many transport services are providing passenger transport facilities also, they need to identify their cost for a passenger transport also. That would be calculated on the basis of passenger kilometer. For that, we need to identify the certain objectives, how this transport services cost can be calculated. Now see here, the controlling of operating and running cost, and to avoid the wastages of some consumable items like fuel, diesel. These are the consumable items. It's frequently consumed, right? And it is consumed, or it is a running expenses, and this would be add on your cost structures also. And now if you want to identify and controlling the cost, you need to adopt the operating costing, and operating costing would be helpful to avoid and actually reduce your cost and controlling the waste of fuel for certain things, and in this way you can control the cost, and that is why the operating cost has been utilized and used by the transport services. The next is the cost of running own vehicles may be compared with the hired or other form of transport. Many times what we did actually, listen, see, these are the objectives which we need to focus very precisely, how you can identify. See here, suppose once upon a time, if you have your own vehicle, and your own vehicle is actually providing cost of fuel average, it's around 5 rupees per kilometer, right? And suppose if you inquire in outside, and you would identify that there are some owners who are providing the transport facilities at a cheaper than this particular rates. So then you would be definitely compare easily that if your vehicle is providing a services to you, that is 5 rupees or 6 rupees per kilometer, where you would be getting this services very cheaper rate than the your rate, what would be the feasible option for you? So in this way definitely you can compare your rates with the other rates. So in this way you would be getting an idea that the rates are differ, and how you can actually identify and comparison between your own vehicle with the other vehicle. Next, moving to the next objective is that the facilitates the quotations of hiring rates to outside parties who ask for the transport services. Definitely, that means suppose if some people needs the transport facilities for a longer period, maybe for a month, for a 2 months, or certain period of time, how you would actually get this services? They would actually try to inquire the different transport agencies to provide some quotations, and on which price you would actually provide the services whenever we need. So for that they need to prepare the quotations. How they can prepare the quotations? The quotations they can prepare if they understood this is a costing calculations, and this is the way to prepare the format of costing calculations, and then they can actually prepare the quotations, those who are actually asked to have to require a certain transport services also. So this is the another objectives, provide some quotations to the people who actually ask for the transport services also. The another important objective is the cost of idle vehicles and cost running time are easily obtained. See, this is a very important way to actually understand this objective. Cost of idle vehicle, how you can identify the cost of idle vehicle and cost of running time can be reduced. See here, now if you are going to take an example, very simple way, if any transport service is providing a facility between two cities, say for an example Rajkot and Ahmedabad, there are two cities, and the people actually ask for the require the services between the Rajkot to Ahmedabad. It would be considered around 225 kilometers or maybe 230 kilometers between two places. services. Now see here, the roads are very good, that's not an issue, that is the first thing. Second is, if you have a good quality of buses, then this would be another second better options. Now see here, if the roads are good, buses are good, that means then the people who are actually asked for the services, they ask to provide the services in a lesser time. Now how you would actually providing this lesser time calculation? This would be providing a lesser time calculation is, suppose the bus will be run on so and so average kilometer per hour, then the second thing, we don't have a wasting a time during the halt, during the actually running a time between the two cities, that means halt will be a very lesser, or maybe a 10 minutes one halt, or certain things are to be considered at the time of when they were providing a services, they consider this. Another important part is how it can be reduced. Reduce, it means it would be reduced in case of the optimum utilization of the vehicle resources, and in this way they can actually try to control and providing an idle vehicle timings and idle vehicle running per time. So this is the way they can actually consider and calculate the cost control as well as the effective time management for providing operating costing system also. So the operating costing system would be helpful to consider the idle time, idle vehicle running time, and as well as the effective time management for the transport services too. So this is the way to calculate the operating cost for the road transport costing. Moving to the next point, the next point is the transport department is also treated as a separate department. The cost of services rendered to other department can easily be determined. So very simple way, if you have a format is very clear, this is the format where you can calculate transport costing or your service costing, and the departments which are very easily involved in this particular services, you can identify these are the departments, what would be the cost of each department, how this department would be actually considered for the different services which are actually providing, and on the basis of that would be calculated the simple way the different cost of each department. At the end, that will be merged in the precise format, and the total amount of operating cost is calculated of the transport services. Then the cost of each vehicle is generally divided into three parts. Now see here, actually it is divided into three parts, but you can see that this was actually in the previous slide we were already discussed the basic distribution of the cost is in two parts only. Here you can distribute it in two parts, that is fixed expenses and running expenses, but as I mentioned in earlier slide also, it is divided into a fixed, running its variable, and the third is semi variable expenses. So if you want to divide into a three part, you can divide it into a three part also: fixed expenses, variable expenses which is called running expenses, and the third is a semi variable expenses. These are the elements of cost. The first is fixed charges. How you can calculate the fixed charges? Very simple way, it is incurred whether the vehicle is operating or not. I want to tell you a very simple example. Suppose if you purchase a bus and you put this bus into a garage for 6 months. Now see here, the bus is already purchased, bus is already put it into the garage, that means whether the bus is running or not, that would be maintenance expenditures are required only, right? So it means if you are already purchase a bus, you maybe hire maybe a driver or certain people, maybe license fees is already paid, maybe road tax is already paid, insurance is already paid. If you take this bus on a mortgage basis, that means if you take a loan to purchase this bus, that means interest on your loan is also necessary to pay. So these are the expenses, it is always incurred whether the bus is running or not. It means that the fixed expenses are incurred whether the vehicle is running or not, or operating or not. These expenses are incurred which would be considered under the fixed expenses, like insurance, road tax, license fees, driver fees certain amount, it's proportionate, but driver's fees also, establishment charge certain period of time, maintenance expenditures also, general expenses, interest on loan or interest on capital, these are the expenses would be considered under the fixed expenses. Now running expenses or variable expenses. How you can calculate a variable expenses? These are incurred by the actual running of vehicle. It means that if the vehicle is in operating mode, these expenses are incurred. If it is not in operating mode, expenditures will not incur. Like very simple way, if your bus is put it into the garage, it would never run. So that means if it is not run, definitely the fuel charges is not required. So if the bus is running, then and then only the fuel charge or a diesel or maybe petrol or whatever, so it is required for the particular vehicle it requires, and the fuel will be required in case of the particular bus is running. Tire expenses. Tire will actually burst, or maybe tire is actually running, whenever it runs the tire will actually depreciate it. So in that case the tire expenditures are required whenever it runs. If it is not run, it may not be expenses incurred so long or so much as the tire is not in a working mode. So that means the certain expenditures are incurred when the bus is in operating mode or the certain service is in an operating mode. So these are the variable or a running expenses, and it is considered the third part, the maintenance expenses, which consider as a semi-variable expenses. As I mentioned, up to certain level of stage, the maintenance expenses are remain same whether bus is operate or not. Maintenance expenses will be incurred. So it is a fixed expenses, but in case of that, the further part of stage, if the bus is operating of a certain level in a more than the actual standard, then the more maintenance expenditures are incurred, and in case of that, the more expenditures are incurred, it would be considered up to certain level it is fixed, and after that it would be calculated on the basis of a running vehicle per kilometer or per passenger. So it would be charged on a basis of a running per kilometer, but up to certain level it is considered as a fixed expense. In case of this mixing of a fixed and variable expenses, it is considered a semi-variable expense. So this is a way for the calculation of a semi-variable expenses. So these are the three elements and three partitions before we calculated the operating cost, which are very much important. One is fixed expense, second is variable or a running expense, and third is semi-variable expenses. This is what I want to tell you in the first part of this session of regarding operating costing. We will discuss in the next session how the operating cost unit would be calculated in the precise format and how the passenger kilometer and ton kilometer would be calculated. Thank you. Namaskar.
स्वाध्याय टीवी